Right now, an ongoing major road construction project in the heart of Middleton is getting pushed back. What it means for the surrounding community.
And new information about an active death investigation in Sauk City. A mother and son found inside this home over the weekend.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. Traffic congestion in Middleton may run further into the summer than expected.
That's because major road construction on University Avenue between Cayuga Street and Park Street is already taking longer than originally planned. Keely Arthur is there live to explain why. Keely?
Well, Charlotte, blame it on the rain. The city says crews simply could not work the number of days they had intended because of the wet and rainy May that we just had. So instead of opening early next month, drivers, residents, and business owners will probably have to wait until mid-July.
We were on the West Coast for a while and lived in a really fun, walkable neighborhood.
So historic downtown Middleton seemed like the perfect place to plant down her family's Midwestern roots.
Because everything is so walkable. We're a 1.5 car family, so we try to do a lot of walking and biking.
But even though Janine Bindle tries to avoid driving a car, she certainly is seeing plenty, as Elmwood Avenue, where she lives, has become a main thoroughfare, while University, which runs parallel, is under construction.
That part of it's a little bit challenging, but us specifically, we're okay. We're doing pretty well.
I'll give credit to the neighbors who live along some of these side streets that are bearing the brunt of this downtown traffic.
Middleton City Engineer Sean Stowski says business owners in the area also bearing the brunt, but surviving.
People have been really good about finding their way to the local businesses.
One of the main reasons for the construction is to add left turning lanes at Parmenter and University. The city acquired land from St. Bernard Catholic Church and Quick Trip to do so, cutting down on congestion and hopefully accidents that happen there frequently.
The State Department of Transportation has a threshold of a number of crashes per million vehicles entering an intersection. And if something exceeds 1.5 crashes per million vehicles entering, that's considered actionable. We really should do something, and we exceeded that threshold.
By quite a bit?
I would say not by quite a bit, but it's rare to even approach that for a city our size.
Janine still plans to stay off the road as much as she can, but suspects there will be a lot less honking come mid-July when University Avenue opens back up.
I bet that a lot of people are excited about it.
Now, normally with these types of construction projects, we see some lanes shut down, but not all. Well, the city says they decided to close it down completely to get this finished earlier. And I also spoke with the Middleton Fire Chief, Aaron Harris. His station is just to the right of me. He says that this construction has not affected response times at all. They've simply rerouted their trucks. Back to you.
A former Beloit Memorial High School teacher will not face charges after being accused of sexually assaulting a student. In February, police arrested 53-year-old Scott Abbott when a student went to school administrators to report a sexual assault by inappropriate touching. Today, the Rock County District Attorney's Office said that case was closed in April, and the decision was made not to charge him. The Beloit School District says he is no longer employed there. Police are trying to figure out what caused the deaths of a mother and son found dead in a Sauk City home yesterday. They've been identified as 88-year-old Margaret Foss and her 63-year-old son David. Neighbors say they lived in that house for more than 60 years. The police chief says there are no signs of forced entry. The fire department checked for carbon monoxide poisoning. No issues there. An autopsy will be performed tomorrow.
Police in Baraboo say they found what is being described as a foreign metal object inside an apple at one of the city's Quick Trip gas stations today. This was at the East Baraboo location on 8th Street. Police say a customer found it and turned it over to staff. All of the remaining apples at the store were removed. At this time, it is not known how the metal object got inside the fruit. Bliss Communications is selling its newspapers and radio stations, according to a report from the Janesville Gazette. The company's 2 daily newspapers are the Gazette in Janesville and the Eagle Herald in Marinette. It also owns 4 weekly newspapers. The company's 3 radio stations, WCLO AM 1230, FM 92.7, and WJVL FM 99.9 in Janesville are also being sold.
When Skip Bliss went and looked for potential buyers, he looked for somebody who was interested in an organization like ours that's family owned, that has the same types of news ideals, local news.
The new owners of the papers and radio stations intend to keep all of the current employees. The sale is expected to be finalized in mid-June.
Cool start to the work week today. Getting a look at the weather now. Here's meteorologist Dave Caulfield on our first alert forecast. Dave?
I think temperatures over the next couple of days, Eric, will be warmer in the 70s and 80s, but we will have to contend with a few more showers and storms coming our way. Our dry stretch of weather coming to an end tomorrow. We are noticing some rain showers across portions of Iowa and Illinois. I really don't think many of those, if any at all, will actually cross into southern Wisconsin tonight. Now into tomorrow morning, that becomes a different story with our first round of showers and storms on the way by tomorrow morning. Live look in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam at mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures have moved into the lower 60s in Madison. We're in the mid 50s in Janesville and closer to the upper 40s along the lakeshore. So temperatures will continue to fall into the upper 50s overnight. Chance of some showers and storms tomorrow morning, and then a potentially stronger round on the way for tomorrow night. We'll time that out and talk about possible threats that we need to look out for in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. The man accused of tossing a toddler over a balcony at Mall of America will spend the next 19 years in prison. Emmanuel Randa pleaded guilty last month. He told police he went to the mall back on April 12th looking for someone to kill. The little boy suffered a severe head injury and has needed multiple medical procedures. His family says he faces a long road to recovery. The man who died during the swimming portion of the Lake Mills Triathlon has now been identified as a doctor from Elkhorn. The Jefferson County Medical Examiner identified him as 59-year-old Scott Beatsy. Aurora Healthcare lists him with a specialty in OB/GYN. He says he earned his medical degree at Tulane University and became interested in medicine while doing missionary work on a small island in the Caribbean. Police are not investigating his death as a drowning. They say it was a medical incident.
After months of delays, the $19.1 billion disaster aid package is going to the president's desk to be signed. This evening, the U.S. House of Representatives approved the bill. It had already overwhelmingly passed the Senate. President Trump says he is in support of the measure, even though it did not include any money for the border. With the president's signature, the bill will help communities hit by tornadoes, wildfires, drought, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. The full House of Representatives will vote next week to hold Attorney General William Barr and former White House counsel Don McGahn in contempt of Congress. The House Judiciary Committee has already voted to hold Barr in contempt, sending it to the floor. It comes following Barr's refusal to provide the committee with the full unredacted report from special counsel Robert Mueller and McGahn's refusal to appear before the committee last month. President Trump wrapped up his first of a 3-day visit in the UK, toasting the friendship between the U.S. and Great Britain. The Queen hosted the president and First Lady for a state banquet, an honor previously bestowed on only 2 other American leaders, Presidents Obama and George W. Bush. President Trump's visit comes during a time of transition in British politics, with a fierce fight to replace outgoing Prime Minister Theresa May. She is set to meet with President Trump tomorrow.
Back home, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway is kicking off LGBTQ Pride Month by raising the rainbow flag. Throughout the month of June, that flag will fly in front of the Madison Municipal Building and the City County Building. At night, the municipal building will be lit in rainbow colors. Rhodes Conway is Madison's first openly gay mayor. In consumer news today, Apple drastically changed the music industry with iTunes. Now it's doing it again by getting rid of the service. Today, Apple announcing it is phasing out the well-known app in favor of 3 desktop apps: Apple Music, Apple TV, and Apple Podcasts. iTunes launched way back in 2001. Now Apple is leaning towards its Apple Music subscription service. Today, Amazon kicked off new free 1-day shipping option for Prime members. Customers can already get free same-day shipping in some areas, but today the online retailer says it now offers expanded free next-day delivery across the U.S. It is available for more than 10 million products on the site. Still ahead tonight at 10, some of them spend months on a waiting list.
How these Meriter Hospital volunteers are helping care for some of the hospital's tiniest and most vulnerable patients. It's a story you will only see on News 3 Now, coming up next.
Welcome back. Dozens of local volunteers give their time each week volunteering to help Meriter Hospital's tiniest patients get the strength they need to get well and go home.
Digital editor Tabitha Wethel and photojournalist Mark Schilling shows us why people are willing to wait years to join Meriter's Cuddle Crew.
Hello. I see you. I've been cuddling for about a year and a half.
I've been cuddling for 8 months here at Meriter.
8 years ago, I became a cuddler.
I had a friend mention the program to me, and I thought, that sounds like the perfect volunteer position. So knowing that there was quite an extensive waiting list, about 10 years, I thought, why not put my name on the list? And my name came up in about 4.5 years.
I was surprised I got a phone call 3 years later, as I call it, called up for duty to be a cuddler.
We get families from all over the region. We see babies that are with us because they were born way too early, and we see babies that are full term with other medical conditions going on, or babies who are going through neonatal abstinence syndrome and have withdrawal symptoms. So the needs can vary greatly. A lot of our moms are very sick as well from their pregnancy, and they have a lot of appointments and things to take care of. And so they can have so much going on that being here is an important piece of the puzzle, but it's often just not doable 24 hours a day.
He's always had a problem with his hat, I'll tell you.
The babies, of course, are well cared for by the nursing staff, and we are there just to provide a level of calmness for them. And when the baby is calm, they can develop better, and they meet those milestones that they need to meet. I tend to go back to the same, comfort type things that I did for my own children. I do here for these babies too. I tend to stand up when I cuddle. I like to sway with them, and I hum and do some of the same things I did with my own boys.
All they want is to be loved and held and talked to.
I let them know that their start can be a little rough into this world, but it's going to be okay.
They have a lot of needs and developmental needs that they've missed out on when they enter the world. So reading, voice, sound, eye contact.
Showing love.
You're helping a child who is in need of a lot of support and a lot of comfort. And so you're starting at, life's beginning, really.
Being able to share my time and love in a fashion that is, I find it easy.
It's just incredibly rewarding knowing that you're helping with something so simple, just the gift of touch and therapeutic comfort.
Showing my children how rewarding it can be to volunteer.
Shift after shift, you get to see those babies on a regular basis, and it's just wonderful. They all make an impression on me.
It means a great deal. You really are making a difference, in a child's life and their family.
Very sweet. You do not need to wait years to help, though. There are multiple ways people can help families in the NICU, including donating gift cards for gas, restaurants, and stores like Walmart.
And the hospital is also looking for volunteers who can help sew scent cloth hearts that help keep mom and baby connected when they're apart. And great news, those twin boys, Christian and Kaimoni, seen in that story, they're now both home in Blanchardville with mom Bianca and dad Chris.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joins us now.
He's doing a lot of cuddling these days with your baby at home, right?
Yeah, just turned a month not too long ago. So Rory, if you're watching, please don't.
I'm sure he watches.
Screens are bad for kids that young. But it was
Limit
good.
the time.
Yeah, exactly. Awkward. But it was good weather to maybe cuddle those closest to you this morning, because it was pretty chilly outside with temperatures starting off in the 40s, even some 30s closer to the lakeshore. Doppler track is showing mainly quiet weather, but a few light returns across portions of eastern Iowa into northern Illinois. This is a part of a system of showers and thunderstorms that really has lost a lot of its gusto, but still affecting portions of the Interstate 80 corridor. I think those showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two will stay to the south of southern Wisconsin right now, but into tomorrow morning, a round of showers and storms possible for southern Wisconsin, and actually multiple rounds could be on the way throughout Tuesday, the second of which will come through during the evening and overnight hours of Tuesday into early Wednesday morning, and that is the concern for some possible strong to severe weather into portions of Tuesday, mainly for the western third of the state, but still a few stronger thunderstorms could make their way a little bit farther to the east. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the day. Tomorrow won't be raining the entire day. There will definitely be periods to get stuff done outside. Live look in Platteville on our Community Radio Skycam. Not seeing much in the way of rain right now. We're just looking at mostly cloudy skies basically everywhere we look across southern Wisconsin. That includes in Madison. High temperatures today, they varied a lot. Closer to the lakeshore, 60 in Milwaukee, although much of the day was in the 50s. Closer to 70 eventually in Madison. It was tough sledding to get there. And then we were in the lower to middle 70s, closer to a warm front across portions of southwestern Wisconsin. Right now, those temperatures have moved into the lower to middle 60s for many of us, unless we are closer to the lakeshore, already dipping into the upper 40s in Sheboygan, closer to Lake Michigan. Overnight, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially as we get into early Tuesday morning. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s for lows. And on Future Track, we notice the first round arriving right around 7 or 8 in the morning tomorrow. Some downpours are possible, but I don't expect anything too strong to form early in the morning. We need to get that energy of the atmosphere to build up throughout the day and then create those thunderstorms later in the day. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s, closer to 80 degrees for highs tomorrow. And then our latest run of Future Track, not too optimistic about that second round of showers and storms, all associated with a cold front that will come through later on Tuesday into early Wednesday. And I don't know if I necessarily buy this latest model run. I think we could see some stronger to possibly even a severe thunderstorm or two late on Tuesday into early Wednesday morning. And really our main threats there would be small hail and some gusty winds, also some downpours possible, but generally looking at about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain by the time we get to Wednesday. And for much of Wednesday, actually, we should be dry with temperatures near 80, and then the dry weather continuing on Thursday and Friday before some slight shower and thunderstorm chances return for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday.
80 degrees.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well, yes.
Hopefully it delivers. Yeah, we should be getting those 70s and 80s.
Yeah, fun time. Dave, thank you. All right, you know one famous golfer from Edgerton. Today, another is stepping into the spotlight. We'll have the story from University Ridge just ahead in sports.
Tonight is the Major League Baseball first-year player draft. The Brewers had the 28th overall pick. They took Mississippi State left-handed pitcher Ethan Small. Travis Shaw back with the Brewers from AAA. He'll be activated for tomorrow night's homestand opener against the Miami Marlins. And 2017 first-round draft choice Keston Hiura was sent down to the minors. Hira's been great, 281 with 5 homers, but if Shaw doesn't straighten out his season-long hitting woes, don't be surprised if Keston Hiura is right back in the bigs pretty soon. The Cubs have a makeup game at Wrigley Field with the Los Angeles Angels. Jason Hayward lines a double down the right field line to score 2. Final score, Cubs 8, Angels 1. The Madison Mallards haven't lost a game yet this season. Tonight at Warner Park, the Mallards beat the Lakeshore Chinooks. The Mallards are now 7-0. Packers began another organized team activity today in Green Bay. Tight end Jimmy Graham was hosting his second annual Bags tournament to help give the aviation experience to veterans and young pilots. Graham still stewing inside from the Packers not making the playoffs last season.
Last year was disappointing for everybody. You know, I'm not used to losing. I don't think anybody here is. You know, and for me, it was not a good year. And so I'm completely focused on putting my best foot forward and, being the player that I am.
The most famous golfer from Edgerton is Steve Stricker. The most famous golfer from Edgerton today is Joe Forsting. At the WIA State Boys Golf Tournament at the University Ridge, a good many Edgerton fans came to watch the Crimson Tide, and Forsting gave them a lot to watch. The senior shot 35 in the front 9, 32 in the back 9. He had 5 birdies and 2 eagles in his round, all added up to a 500 par 67. Best round of the day in any division. Joe Forsting, the individual leader in Division 2. The team leader, Edgewood, looking for its 3rd straight team championship. The Crusaders have the lead by 1 after their first round. James and Carl Gilmore led them with 73s today. Edgerton's in 3rd, thanks in part to a round of 5 under by Joe Forsting. In Division 1, Mount Horb's Kaysen Fager qualified as an individual. He had a really good day today. 3 birdies, 3 bogeys. They say par's always a good score, and that's just what Kaysen Fager got. Even par 72. He's tied for 7th individually. Big story, though, in Division 1 this week is Arrowhead's Pearson Hunt. He's now a junior. He's in position to make a run at a 3rd straight title tomorrow. Hunt double bogeyed his first hole, but recovered nicely, shot 1 under par 71. In the team race, Marquette University School 7 shots ahead of 2nd place Middleton. Badgers' Blake Wisdom, the Division 1 individual leader, at 2 under par. And Roncalli is leading Division 3, but Abundant Life Madison Country Day just 5 shots behind. The challengers' Jack Rollins had the best round of the day for Abundant Life Country Day with 76. He's tied for 2nd individually. And Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight in St. Louis, 2-2 in the 3rd when the Blues' Ryan O'Reilly buries the rebound. Final score, Blues 4, Bruins 2, series tied at 2 games apiece. And we'll be right back.
Picture
Dave's here with the final check.
We have some showers just to the south of us tonight. I think that's where they'll stay. But as we get into tomorrow morning, our shower and thunderstorm chances do return to southern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now, though, have moved into the lower 60s in Madison, in the mid to upper 50s in Janesville. Much cooler near the lakeshore, though. Waukesha at 48, Sheboygan at 47. Day planner for tomorrow, some showers and thunderstorms possible in the morning and early afternoon hours. Then we should get a break. A cold front will come through later on tomorrow into early Wednesday morning. Could provide us with some additional showers and thunderstorms, and also some of those storms may be a little bit on the strong side. But another stretch of dry weather occurs from Wednesday afternoon through Thursday and Friday.
We need that.
Yeah.
Sure do. Dave, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you here tomorrow.